When you go home to yourself and touch your own suffering, you see the roots of that suffering. And you discover that your suffering is connected with the suffering of your parents. Yes, your parents have suffering that they have not been able to transform. They make themselves suffer, they make each other suffer, and because they don't know how to transform them, they have transmitted them to you. And looking at your own suffering, you see the suffering of your parents and your ancestors. And you know that if you can transform the suffering in you, you help liberate your parents in you. Because your parents are non-you elements. Without them, there is no you. So when you get the liberation, your parents in you get the liberation, and your ancestors in you also get the liberation. So understanding suffering in ourselves can help us liberate ourselves, our parents, our ancestors, because we are the continuation of our ancestors. Our ancestors are still alive in every cell of our body. They are not dead. You don't need to see and to go and see him, talk to him in order to change. The way we breathe, the way we walk can change him in ourselves. Invite him to walk with us, to sit with us, to smile with us. And that the Father inside of us will change. Otherwise, we'll grow up and behave exactly like him now. Whether you are son and father, or whether you are daughter and mother, or you are partner and partner, and if you have difficulty with the other person, and if you want to send him or her, which the first thing we should do is to look deeply into ourselves and into that person, to realize, to see the relationship, the connection. Usually we think that the other person is outside of us. And that is not right view. In this case, we think that our Father is outside of us. And we need only to change the outside and not the inside. We need to see that our Father is in us. Our Father is present in every cell of our body. We have our Father in us. We are the continuation of our Father in us. And if it may be easier for us to change our Father inside first. And you can do that 24 hours a day. You don't need to see and to go and see him, talk to him in order to change. The way we breathe, the way we walk can change him in ourselves. Invite him to walk with us, to sit with us, to smile with us. And that the Father inside of us will change. Otherwise, we'll grow up and behave exactly like him now. There are many children who hate their father, who promise that when they grow up, they will not act and say things like their father. But when they grow up, they will act exactly like their father. And they will say things exactly that by their father. That has happened many times, always. So you hate it, you don't want to do it, you don't want to say it, and yet you will do exactly like that, and you will speak exactly like that. And that is what we call in Buddhism samsara, going around. you continue your father, not only with your body, but your way of life. So that is why when you encounter the Buddha Dharma, you have a chance. You have to send your father in you first. And when you have been able to send your father inside of you, he will not go to samsara again. You will not transmit that kind of habit to your children. So you end the round of samsara, going around, recycling. And when the father inside has been transformed, the transformation of the father outside will be much easier. That is my experience. I have fellow monks who are difficult. They are dignitaries in the church, in the Buddhist church. They are very conservative. They didn't allow transformation to take place in the community. You know that in order to serve society, you have to renew your community. Whether your community is Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, Judaism, right? And many of us are eager to renew our tradition, to serve society and human beings better, right? But there's so many conservative elements in the church. So that is true in my case also. But I noticed this very early. I said, they have in us, they are in us. We have to change ourselves first. So if you are a partner and your partner does not change, don't think that your partner is just outside of you. Your partner is inside of you. Even if you have divorced him or her. Yesterday I received a question. Can we reconcile? Can we begin in anew with the one who we have divorced? And this is exactly the question we have to answer. Because even in the beginning, you believe that after divorce, and then you can be yourself entirely, and you can take him out of you completely. That's wrong. You can never remove himself from you. You can never remove herself from you. No way. So before you attempt to do something with the other person outside, try to help him transform inside. Try to help her transform inside. And with this practice, we can succeed in transforming ourselves and become a model. We become fresh. Our way is exactly the way we want him to be. So by speaking, by acting, by living, you begin to change him. You don't change him by talking alone. Maybe talking cannot change. But your way of reacting, your way of acting, reacting, your way of responding, will help change that person. because he has also his intelligence, and he can notice that. And you know that to succeed in the work of changing oneself and changing the other person, you also need a sangha. You also need friends to support you. That is why you have to take refuge in the sangha. You have to know how to make good use of the collective energy of the sangha to support our transformation and healing, and to help us transform the other person. Don't be too eager to transform him right away. You have to accept him as he is first. You have to accept her as she is first. And after acceptance, you feel much better already. And you begin to change him inside of you. This is a very deep practice. And since our friend has come to Plum Village every year and practice with us since he was a small child, I believe he can do it. And we try to support him to do it. Never lose our hope. And the way not to lose our hope is to make progress every day by the practice, daily practice. Thank you for asking the question. It's very good. Time is made only of non-time elements. Including space, including matter, energy, action, force. Without these elements, time is not there. So time may be a mental construction. But the safest thing to say is that time is made of non-time elements. And if you remove all these non-time elements, including space and action and energy, time is no longer there. The past, the future, and the present, they inter-are. The present cannot be there without the past and the future. And the future cannot be there without the past and the present. They lean on each other in order to express themselves. And that is why when you look deeply and you know how to touch the present moment deeply, you touch eternity, you touch the past, and you touch the future. And as a good practitioner, you can touch the future in the here and the now. You can touch also the past in the here and the now. And you can also transform the past and transform the future by taking good care of the present moment. And this is not just theory, this is a practice. And that means if you touch the present moment deeply, you touch the past, and you can even heal the past and transform the past. The past is still there for the present to be. And the same thing is true with the future. We know the future is made only of one substance, the present moment. And to worry about future, that does not help. The more you worry, the more you ruin your future. The better way is to take good care of the present moment in the best way you can. Because you know that the future is made only of the present. If you are doing your best in order to take care of the present, you are doing everything already for the future.